your passing, or you got a baby.
Hi, friends. Don't you love that song? It's absolutely my favorite. Okay, so today I'm feeling super inspired to help all my friends with their math. So we are going to be working on some place value to add and subtract. That's our focus. So right now, if you have your worksheets that are halves, bowls, and vans, the first one says page 1 of 2, and then the second page looks like this, and it is page 2 of 2 on this side. Okay, so grab your worksheets. If you don't have your packet, or maybe you already finished it, then just make sure that you have paper and some markers, pencils, colored pencils, all the things that you're going to need, and let's get started. So excited to help my friends learn some math. Here we go. Here we go. And we're going to start by I can use place value skills to subtract. Now, if you're looking at your worksheet, then you will see that if you cut, we're going to look right here, it says if you cut the square in half, what 2 shapes will you get? So we know that half means that you have 2 equal parts, just 2. So if we cut this in half, we could get 2 rectangles. If we cut it this way, we would get 2 triangles, and if we cut it long ways, we would get longer rectangles. But basically what it's saying is if you took just this size square, which one of these matches this size square? So I know that if I took a square that was bigger and I cut it like this, I could get 2 triangles. But if I cut this one like that, I would get smaller triangles. So the second one is not the right answer. Let's look at this one. This is a rectangle that has been sliced into 2 skinnier or thinner rectangles. And so I know that this is not the right answer because we're looking at a square that has 4 equal sides the same. So if I look right here, this would be the correct answer. And because I love to color, I'm going to shade this answer in. There we go. So it matches. Okay, so let's look at the same thing. So the first one, it was a square, and then it was a little tricky because originally when I first looked at all of them, I'm like, oh, well, all of those we could use a square to cut. But when I looked even closer, then I recognized that we actually had 2 rectangles that were cut, and that if we cut this square, then the only one that makes sense would be the first one. Okay, let's look at this one. If I took this rectangle and I cut it into half, so I could cut it in half this way, and I could cut it in half this way, and potentially I could cut it in half this way. So there's 3 ways that I could cut this shape into halves. So if I'm looking, I could see this half matches this half. And this one actually reminds me of that up there, right? And this is actually a rhombus. So the correct answer would be the center. And so I'm just going to shade this one in with my pen as well. Okay, so you try the last one when we're using the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-sided shape, a six-sided shape. I think I need to get some help saying that today. Can you say that for me? Thank you for helping me out. 6-sided shape is a hexagon, and a hexagon, if we cut it in half, how would it look? So looking at these 3, there is 1 correct answer, and it stands out pretty obvious on this one. So we should have started with that one. Okay, well, you can tell Miss Gerald did not make this worksheet. I would have put that one as first. All right, let's go into finding the difference. So I'm going to be teaching you how to find the difference on your sheet. So right now you're just going to slide your worksheet away. So you do not need this right now. You're going to use this worksheet for practice in a bit. So right now on your paper, go ahead and write your I can, because that is our target. That is our goal, friends. I can use place value skills to subtract. And we're going to start with something basic. We're just going to do some basic subtracting. 10 minus 5. So this is a doubles fact. 10 minus 5 is 5. Good. Let's do another doubles fact. 16 minus 8. 16 minus 8 is, that's right, I heard you say it. 16 minus 8 is 8. Good, and the last double fact we're going to do is 20 minus 10 equals, very good, 10. All right, and so these are what we call doubles. So write these out and label them doubles. These are doubles minus facts. So what if I asked you what were the doubles plus facts that go along with these? So 10 minus 5, the fact family or the doubles plus fact would be 5 plus 5 equals 10. What would you do for this one? That's correct. 8 plus 8 equals, good job, friends. Good job. 16. 16. And I'm just going to slide you guys over here because I feel like I'm talking over there instead of right here. Okay. So 8 plus 8 is 16. And now we're going to move into the last one, which is 10 plus 10, which is 20. Very good. Go. We were a little bit wobbly. Okay, so we've practiced our doubles, plus or minus, and this is using our place value knowledge. You guys know these skills. There's a reason why we memorize these math facts, is to make us more efficient when we use our regrouping strategies. So let's go into some larger digits. So we're going to do this one now. We're going to do 40, and we're going to minus 20. So if we have 4 10s and we take away 2 10s, we are left with 2 10s, so 20. So this is basically the same thing. We're using this double strategy, but now we're using in the doubles with tens or hundreds. So I want you to think about this in your think bubble. It's your doubles, and then it's tens or hundreds or thousands. Let me show you what I mean by that. Let's put a little think bubble. It's all in our brain. So we have 40 minus 20. Okay, so if we can solve 40 minus 20, then we can solve 400 minus 200. Right, 200. And if I can solve this one, then 4,000 minus 2,000. What is 4,000 minus 2,000, you say? Good job, 2,000 is correct. All right, so you might be asking yourself, well, what does all of this have to do with what our goal is today? Place value skills. The reason why you learn place value knowledge and number sense in kindergarten, first grade, and second grade is to really propel you into understanding how to add and subtract digits in the thousands. So you guys are now using regrouping with an algorithm. You are using with the hundreds, tens, and ones. You're doing expanded form with subtracting and adding. You're using all of these things that we've taught you to now propel you into the application. What does that mean, Ms. Cheryl? That's a lot of words. It means that when you come across a problem, we want you to be very quick and efficient. We want you to use your time wisely and not have to spend so much time thinking about the answer. So that's why we teach you these strategies. So let's jump into some. We're going to start with this first one. This first one is going to be 600 minus 300. And here again, we're using our doubles facts to solve. So what is 600 minus 300? You can just think about, what is 6 minus 3? 6 minus 3 is 3. So 6 hundreds minus 3 hundreds equals, that's right, 300. So there again, we're using that doubles. So when we go to this next problem, think about 120 minus 60. So we're using that place value. And if I'm just going to grab a sticky note right here. And I'm going to cover up this 0 because now if I just think about what is 12 minus 6 or 12 tens minus 6 tens, and then you would tell me 60. So basically what I just said, I'm just going to draw this out for you, 12 tens, because 120 is 12 tens, minus 6 tens is equal or equivalent to 6 tens. So remember, if at any time I'm writing too fast, and I know that I write quickly, I want you to remember to pause the screen and take your time to work through these problems. Okay? All right, let me give you this one to do on your own. So we're going to do 180 minus 90, or you can think about this as 18 tens minus 9 tens. So go ahead and pause your screen and solve the problem with a star. Okay, friends, so I hope that you took some time to solve this problem. Let's go over it really quickly. I know that 18 minus 9 is 9. That's my doubles minus fact, right? So I can just do subtract 0 minus 0. 18 minus 9 equals 9, so my answer is 90. All right, friends, so now that we're done with this, I'm going to put my worksheet back up here on the screen. So if you do not have your worksheet, then go ahead and pause the screen and work these problems out. So if you don't have your worksheet, pause now and solve these problems. Okay, so if you've had a chance to solve through all of these problems now, you've worked them on your worksheet or you've worked them on the paper. Now we're going to move into our second paper, which is a word problem. So for this one, boys and girls, I'm going to be using my pencil. And if you do not, listen to me carefully, if you do not have your worksheet, only write what I write. Please do not write this whole word problem because that's just going to take a lot of time and I want you to be able to enjoy your time outside today. So just write what you see that I'm writing. Follow along as I read. Josh got 12 goldfish. He wants to put 3 goldfish in each little fish bowl. My question says, how many little fish bowls will he need? Josh got 12 goldfish. 12 goldfish. And I'm asking myself, what's happening in this problem? He wants to put them into groups of 3 because I see this problem. It says he wants to put 3 goldfish in each little fish bowl. So he wants to make groups of 3. How many little fish bowls will he need? Show your work. 12 fish into groups of 3. All right, so I can count by 3s until I hear myself say 12. That's one strategy. So I'm going to skip count. 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, so I know that I have 4 numbers here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 or 4 groups of 3 is 12. So this is 4 groups of 3 equals 12. All right, so if skip counting doesn't make perfect sense to your brain, if you're just a little bit like, what? Let's draw a picture. So I have 12 goldfish, and I'm going to put them into groups of 3. So if I have 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now I'm going to easily be able to see that I have 4 groups of 3, and I can circle them. 1 little group, 2 little groups, 3 little groups, 4 little groups. So there's my picture. 4 times 3 is 12. So let's see, I've used an array to show my thinking. I've used an algorithm. I've used skip counting. And what if I wanted to use something called flip or commutative property? This means just like when we have 2 plus 3 is 5, we can flip it and we can say 3 plus 2 is 5. right? So the same thing works with multiplication. So right here, we have 4 groups of 3 because we needed to put them in groups of 3. Well, if I flipped that around and I said, okay, well, what if I just said, here's a fishbowl, and here's a fishbowl, and here's a fishbowl. All right, so now I'm going to pass out 12 fish. 1, 2, 3 little fishies, 4, 5, 6 little fishies, 7, 8, 9 little fishies, 10, 11, 12 little fish. So when I flipped the problem, now I have 3 groups of 4 fish, which equals 12. So to use the commutative property, I'm just going to call that CP so I don't have to write it all out, then I need to know that if I put them in groups of 3, there will be 4 fish bowls. So my picture doesn't match this problem. It matches it if I flipped the problem. So it helped me solve it. So I know Josh will need 4 little fish bowls. So I'm going to just circle this because I don't want you to be confused. This is definitely using the commutative property, and I'm going to write that out for you right here. You do not have to write that because I know that there's not a lot of space. Commutative property. It just means that we flipped and multiplied in any order. Multiply in any order. That's what that means. All right. So we used several different strategies. We used the algorithm, an array. We did a commutative property with a picture. So we've kind of done about 4 different ways. There are between 5 and 6 different ways to show multiplication. Then we're going to learn more about those as we move into multiplication understanding towards the end of this and at the beginning of 3rd grade. Okay, let's go to 36. There are 36 kids are going to the park. Each van can hold 6 kids. How many vans will they need to take in all? How many vans will they need to take all the kids to the park? Show your work. So I want you right now to pause the video and try to draw a picture to solve this problem. Go ahead, pause the video. You've got a friend in me. Oh, hi guys, you're back. Great, I'm so glad that you worked on that problem. So now let's check your thinking and remember to keep a growth mindset because this is very new. 2nd graders are just expected to learn the very basics of multiplication. So you're doing amazing work. So before we even get started, I want you to remember that you are awesome, you are amazing, and I believe in you. All right, sorry about that. So we have 36 kids, dun, 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 and each van can hold 6. So I'm going to draw a van, but I'm just going to draw a big box. And I'm going to put the number 6, or 6 little children. So I'm just going to write the number 6 in this first box. All right, so if I have 6, and I know that if I have 6 more here, then that's going to give me 12 kids, right? Okay, so let's keep going. So then if I draw another van, here's my van, and I have 6 kids here, and then here's the other van, and here's more 6 kids. So that's another set of 12. So if I add 12 plus 12, I could use the algorithm if I didn't know this double fact. When we add and subtract, we start in the ones place. Don't forget that. So 2 plus 2 is, you got it, 4. And 1 plus 1 is 2. So we have 24. So we can keep going. So I'm going to add 6 more. And if I said 24 plus 6, 24 plus 6, well, I know that when I'm starting in the ones place, 6 plus 4 is a 10. Put down a 0 and carry a 10. Now, what is 1 10 plus 2 more 10s? You're all going to say 3 10s, Miss Cheryl. Yes, so we're at 30. So we can keep going. So I'm going to add on another 6 because I know that 30 plus 6 equals 6, which actually means that 12 plus 12 plus 12 must equal 36. So just to be sure, because we love to check our work, it makes us feel super smart and awesome, we're going to count by twos. Ready, count. 2, 4, 6. Good job, put it down. And now we're going to go to the, you got it, the tens. 110 plus 110 plus 110 is 310. So we're at 36. Wow. So now that I'm thinking about this, I could say 36 divided by 6 equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vans. So it would take 6 vans for them all to be together. So if we have 36 people, that's a total. And now the division sign means into. Division sign means into. Division sign means into. Say it, say it, say it. Division sign means into. Good. Just like multiplication means groups of. So total, and then I'm just going to write into. Make sure you label that. It's really important. And then this is our divisor. So we're going to write the number in each group because that's how many can be in each van. The number in each, and I'm just going to write out van because we have a problem here. And then this is the number of groups or the number of vans. Whew, that's a lot, isn't it? So I'm going to tell you the super awesome vocabulary because you know vocabulary, it is like the key to Miss Gerald's math heart. So the first number or the total in a division sentence is what we call a dividend. So go ahead and try that word out. Dividend, good. And when you write the word dividend, it looks like this. D-I-V-I-D-E-N-D. Underline that E and D. This is how I remember, because sometimes math is so silly and they try to trick us, but we're smarter than that. The dividend is always the beginning. I don't know why it has the word end. The only thing I can think is that it must be the dividend because it's actually the same number that a product would be if we multiply. Factor times factor equals product. So there's our dividend. What we call this number is the number that we put it into the number of groups or the size of the groups is what we call a divisor. Divisor. Say that word 3 times. Divisor. I hope I spelled that correctly. Miss Gerald's dyslexia is like crazy right now. So divisor would be the number of groups or the size of groups depending on the word problem. In this word problem, it was the number in each group or in each van. And then what we call the answer, which I don't like the word answer. I like the words product, sum, quotient, and difference. Let's be specific when we are labeling what we would consider a solution or an answer. So our quotient, try that word out, quotient. Quotient. Hey Siri, spell quotient. It's always nice to have help.
Quotient, Q-U-O-T-I-E-N-T.
Whew. If I didn't have my spell checker here, my friend over here, my Siri is my best spelling friend. So quotient is what we would call the solution to a division problem, and it represents either the size or the number in the group, and it depends on how this word problem is being asked, okay? All right, so here's my 36 divided by 6 equals 6. So 6 times 6 equals 36. So here's my factor times factor equals product. And here is the dividend. See, end. See how it's related to that product? But they're not going to trick us because now we know the trick. The end really starts the beginning of a division sentence. Dividend, divisor, dividend into divisor equals the quotient. Woo! That was fun. All right, and now I also noticed that when I was making this picture in my model, I had 3 groups of 12. Say that. 3 groups of 12. So what multiplication sentence can you write? Go ahead, write it. Okay, let's see how many of you wrote this. 3 times 12 equals 36. All right, now here's a challenge. How many of you can take this factor times factor equals product and flip it and make it the reverse or the inverse and make it division? Let me show you how. Actually, try it first. If you want, you can pause. Okay, I'm dying to show you. Okay, let's go. All right, so we have 36 divided by 1, 2, 3 equals 12. Or you could have written it like this. 36 divided by 12 equals 3. So if you wrote either one of those, then I want you to know how awesome I think you are. And if you tried, if you even attempted, then you make my teacher heart so happy because you are doing your best math work. And that's what's most important. We don't always have to get the right answers, but we always have to try our best. Okay, so let's finish this problem because I know you're like, Miss Cheryl, be quiet. It's been such a long time already. Okay, so they will blank vans to take all the kids to the park. They will need how many vans? And we look back in our picture, and I'm just going to color them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vans. Whew, so much fun. So much fun. I absolutely love doing math with you guys. You guys are some of my favorite little friends, and I can't wait to see all of your awesome work. Make sure that you show me your work on Flipgrid. If you have any questions or if you need anything, please go to Flipgrid and ask me questions because my favorite thing to do in the whole entire world is help kids learn, learn, learn. So have a great day, friends. Find some sunshine today and learn a lot. Bye.
You've got a friend in me.